Yo, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another YouTube video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at another weapon from the Pinnacle playlist. And today we're taking a look at the Mountaintop 2. Bungie finally made another one of these and put it in the energy slot. So you'll always be able to use a microwave grenade launcher if that's what you want, and it does come with some pretty good perks. I'm very happy that they made another grenade launcher like this one, because I really like the Mountaintop, but being locked to the kinetic slot definitely limited my options. But now with this one in the energy slot, I'll definitely have a lot more options and more builds that I can incorporate these microwave grenade launchers into. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about what makes this grenade launcher special, what are some of the best perks, and the ones that you should be going for if you're looking for a god rule in this weapon. And at the end, we'll have a mini review where I just talk about the things that I like or dislike about the weapon, and any other feelings I may have about the weapon. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, remember to like and subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already, as well as let me know your thoughts on this weapon in the comments below. Have you gotten a good roll? Are you going for a god roll? And do you think it's good or bad? But now let's get into it, and first we gotta talk about where to actually get the weapon. Now you're going to be able to get this weapon from the Pinnacle activities. Whenever you go here in the portal, any of these will have a chance to actually drop this weapon. But if you see it as one of the rewards that's highlighted, then you know it's guaranteed that you actually get this weapon. So while that's not really there all the time, just running any of them will have a chance to always drop this weapon. And this weapon is going to come with 3 different origin traits: Problem Solver, Vanguard Determination, and then Field Tested. Vanguard Determination will give you some damage assistance after using your class ability and getting some final blows. Field Tested is going to improve your range, stability, handling, and reload speed whenever you deal damage or defeat targets. And then lastly, Problem Solver will apply its sauce to champions, meaning bosses and bosses, whenever you do sustained damage. And I really like this origin trait on this weapon, since you're already going to be shooting a bunch of these bigger enemies. It's saucing them and making them less dangerous by reducing their damage is going to be fantastic. So I really like this Problem Solver perk that the Pinnacle ops actually have. It's very useful for the type of content that you usually bring these weapons into. But next, let's actually move on and talk about the most important part when it comes to these weapons. Let's talk about the trait perks. So we're gonna do a quick overview of all the perks that we have on this weapon, and then we'll go a little bit more in depth in some of the best ones, and also have some god suggestions at the end, so you know what you guys are looking for. So let's get into it, and let's start with the very first trait perk. Now these are the options we're going to have for the very first trait perk. We have Eddy Current, Reconstruction, Blast Distributor, Reverberation, Danger Zone, and lastly Transcendent Moment. And there's a couple of perks here, but we're mostly going to talk about 3: Reconstruction, Blast Distributor, and of course Eddy Current. Eddy Current is going to work pretty well with this weapon, especially because the other perk that you can get in the other slot works really well with it. And having more reload speed on a weapon like this one is just perfect. Anything that helps you just reload it more often, that you can get more bullets out there, is going to be fantastic with this weapon. So if you're looking for that, Eddy Current is going to be a pretty good choice. Blast Distributor is one of the new perks. Whenever you deal splash damage, you get a bonus to your grenade stat. So just by doing damage, it doesn't require kills or anything like that. Just by doing damage with an explosive weapon, like this one, you'll be increasing your grenade stat. So this one's gonna be really good. You know, having more grenades or more grenade stat is always a good thing, whether you're on a grenade build or not. Just having a little more to get your grenades back faster is gonna be fantastic. And if you're planning on using this weapon a lot, this could definitely be a really good choice, since every single time that we hit some enemies, we're gonna be proccing that Blast Distributor. So definitely a very solid perk. And the final one that we gotta talk about is, of course, Reconstruction. You guys know about Reconstruction. This weapon slowly reloads itself over time, up to double the amount. And recently, with the Edge Fate, Reconstruction actually got a little bit of a buff, where it actually puts bullets into your magazine a little faster. This one's definitely going to be your go-to perk if you're just trying to do some quick burst damage with this weapon. If you never want to manually reload it, you just pull it out, fire 2 shots, put it away, and then bring it back out whenever you need 2 shots again. This is going to be a fantastic way of doing that. I just wish we had a couple extra perks to synergize with this, since currently we don't really have too many on this one. But it is still a fantastic perk that can be very good in this situation. And those I think are going to be your best options for this perk. Now these are the perks that we're going to have for the second perk slot. We have Bolt Shot, Reaper's Tide, Binary Orbit, Elemental Honing, Rolling Storm, and lastly Frenzy. And for this perk, I'd definitely say that we have a couple more choices than we did on the first perk slot. But let's start with what I think a lot of people are going to be going for with this weapon, Bolt Shot. Bolt Shot is going to let you jolt the next enemy after you get a kill and reload, And this is going to be fantastic for just adding more damage, adding more ad clear. It's definitely going to be very good on this weapon. And as long as you keep getting some kills, you're going to be able to just constantly activate this perk. And it usually works really well on special weapons like this one. Another next perk is the brand new one, Reaper's Tide. Getting multiple simultaneous final blows will queue up a stacking damage buff, and the timer starts the next time you fire this weapon. So you basically store a damage buff on the weapon until you actually need it. And whenever you get some final blows with the weapon, you'll be able to extend the timer. And this is just such a cool concept as a perk. You proc it in some mats and basically just set on it till you actually need it against a bigger enemy. A mini boss, a champion, a boss. Really allowing this weapon to put in a little bit more damage when it really needs it. And this perk can actually give you a lot of damage depending on the amount of enemies you kill. If you kill 2 enemies, it'll be a 20% damage increase, 3 is 30, and 4 is gonna be 40% damage increase. And the duration of this perk is gonna be 15 seconds at base, and then if you get any kills afterwards, you're gonna be able to add 5 seconds. And the amount of time this buff actually lasts is the reason why I think this one is such a good perk, because 15 seconds, especially if you got some of those higher end buffs like 30 or 40%, is going to be a lot of damage that you can just pump out there with this weapon. And if you pair this up with some high reload speed, you're just constantly going to be able to get more shots out there with that 30 to 40% increased damage. I definitely think this is going to be very good, and definitely a perk you want to keep your eyes on. Now you also have perks like Frenzy, which is going to give you a damage boost, a handling boost, and a reload boost all in one, used for being in combat. The really good thing about Frenzy is that once it turns on, it's basically going to be on for as long as there's enemies around. So I would say Frenzy is a decent option, but definitely not the best. And those 3 perks right there, I think are going to be your best choices when it comes to this weapon. And you also have other decent ones like Elemental Honing, which does have the potential to give you a big damage boost, but you do kind of have to build into it. And then you have Rolling Storm, which kind of builds into the bolt charge, which I think is going to be pretty alright. But the main 2 perks that I definitely think that you should go for on this weapon are going to be Bolt Shot or Reaper's Tide. So now let's move on and let's talk about the god rules, and we gotta start with Eddy Current and Bolt Shot. This one's gonna be fantastic on this weapon. Bolt Shot and Eddy Current, they're just that classic combo. All that reload speed you get from Eddy Current for free works pretty well into Bolt Shot, so you can just keep proccing that perk over and over again. But Bolt Shot is gonna be able to work with pretty much any other perk, except for like maybe Reconstruction, just because of the way Reconstruction works and what the perk actually does. But besides that, Bolt Shot pretty much works with everything, so no matter what you pair it up with it, it'll be pretty good. Another next god rule I'm gonna recommend is gonna be Reconstruction plus Reaper's Tide, and this one I feel is gonna work really well. You have 2 shots to begin with to stack up the perk, and whenever it's time to actually use some of that damage that you stacked up, you're gonna be starting the fight with 2 shots. So I think that's gonna work pretty well, and it's gonna give you some instant burst damage very quickly. Blast Distributor plus Frenzy I also think is gonna be pretty good. You're gonna get damage, reload speed, handling, and as you're doing damage, you gotta be building Blast Distributor so you can spam your grenades a lot more often, so your grenades can do a lot more damage. You're just gonna be increasing that grenade stat. So I think this one's also gonna be pretty good, and another one that you should check out. And those are gonna be the main ones that I recommend that you go for on this weapon. A lot of these perks that I mentioned, you can like mix and match them, and you'll probably end up with a good roll, because you have a lot of different choices here when it comes to like the good perks when combining them. But let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this weapon? What is the god roll that you guys are going to be going for? Or maybe you already got. Let me know that in the comments below. And now let's talk a little bit about the weapon. And to be completely honest, I'm just happy to see that we got another micro missile grenade launcher, this time on a different slot. It makes me very, very happy. And I'm definitely going to be using this a lot, especially because of all the different like perk combinations that it's got. I feel like Bolt Shot, it's really going to be like crazy on this weapon. This weapon can already clear ads pretty effectively, but with Bolt Shot into the midst, this thing is gonna be crazy. Or with Reaper's Tide being able to like have a big damage increase for a very long time is also gonna be very good. And I just cannot wait to see some more of this perk on just some other weapons too. But overall, I'm very happy with this grenade launcher. I'm definitely gonna be using it, and I'm gonna be hunting for some of these god rules. Once again, let me know what you guys think about the weapon in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.